Hello, everyone. I've been debating about making this for a few days now because it contains subject matter that a lot of people might find heartbreaking about me. And with all this stuff that's been going on, all the senseless death, sadness, it can be overwhelming for a lot of people. And, you know, a lot of people who don't know me at home would generally think I'm a happy person for the most part. But it's also not secret knowledge that I've been suffering from depression for many years. And every day is a struggle. And I don't talk about it because I don't want to make other people sad. I've, for the most part, stopped hanging out with friends because I feel so miserable all the time because of what happened. You know, and with everything going on right now, people losing businesses, family members dying, friends dying, just so much sadness in the world right now. And it doesn't matter what side you're on. You're on left side, right side, doesn't matter your race. And it affects everybody differently. Some people handle it one way, other people handle it another. And, there's nothing wrong with that. But depression is a bitch. And then you have your bullies out there who will just bash on you because, they're probably not feeling any better about themselves than you are. It's just they handle it differently than we do. And I can't really guess I say we since everything's different, but everybody's different. But depression, it can come in all shapes and sizes. Anything can trigger it. Doesn't have to be some great sadness, it could be something someone else would see as not as important, or why you would be sad about that. And those people are wrong for thinking that. Doesn't matter how small, minuscule. When you're sad, and you feel it on such an emotional level that it eats you inside. It takes who you are. I'm not the same person I was before the first real major incident that led to my depression and my sadness. And a lot of people that suffer from depression, they do the same thing. They isolate themselves. And, I've just grown weary over the years of drama, and more drama. That I'm having a hard enough time dealing with my own personal struggles that it's hard for me to help with anybody else's. But, suicide's nothing new. I mean, we've lost so many people through suicide. Family, friends, idols. And it's honestly better. It's not, oh man. Yeah, I had to take a moment there, just a minute, because I got so many thoughts running through my head. I just, with everything going on right now, there's, it's inevitable that we're going to have, I believe, mass suicides coming up very soon because of people losing their business. You heard about it in the Great Depression. People lost their jobs, lost their money, lost their livelihoods. They were out on the street. So many people took their lives just based off of losing everything they had. You know, divorce, drugs, losing family. Well, the biggest killer of depression, I really believe, is silence. That's why I'm making this video. So I know I'm already 6 minutes in. I meant to do this a little. This isn't scripted. I'm just going off the cuff here. But silence is definitely the number one culprit in suicide for depression. Because like me, I don't say nothing. You know, I haven't said anything. In 2005, I lost my daughter after only a month, my first baby. You never fully recover over that. You go through every day struggling. I tried to maintain a happy demeanor for everybody around me because I didn't want to make them as miserable as I am. It's been, it's been 15 years now. Wow. Sometimes you don't think about how long things have been until you actually start thinking about it. But, I come to this realization like every 3 months that it's just like, wow, it's been this long. And it's just, I've come to terms, it's something I'm never going to recover from. I'm trying to not be so miserable on the inside that it's affecting my well-being. And this is the hard part that's hard for me to talk about, because I know it's going to break a lot of my family's heart, because not even my spouse knows some of this. But the night my daughter died, me and my friends that were there, me and my second wife, we were devastated by it. And, rightfully so. I mean, a year later, we were grateful to welcome our son into the world. That helped. That helped with the depression, but it doesn't change the fact, I constantly blame myself every day. And people I've talked to about it say it's not my fault. I believe them. I know it's not my fault. But I can't help but still think that. I can look at myself from a distance and know that I got very few things in this life that actually make me happy. I can fake it. A lot of y'all see me laughing. A lot of y'all see me party and have a good time. A lot of it, I would have rather just been in a hole somewhere because I felt like shit. Didn't mean I hated anybody that I've ever been distant with. I've had people want to go hang out, and I've just been. I'd rather wallow in my own self pity because I can't think of anything different. And with it being so many years that you never get over it. And I want everyone else to know, if you're suffering from depression, you know someone suffering from depression, you see someone isolate themselves, they cut themselves off from everybody, they don't act the same, something's going on with them, they need your help. That's why I want to make this video. I want whoever sees this to share it. Maybe me talking about this will give someone else the strength to talk about their problems too. Maybe we can save some lives if, most of my life I've been a very private person. I don't like my business being out there. But I think this is a worthwhile cause to do that. Because I don't want to see anybody else die. I wish there was some pill to cure all depression. That would be great. But it doesn't exist. And it's hard. It's hard. It doesn't get any easier. Some things may be easier to get over than others over time. But then you have the really bad things that happen to you that change your life, stick with you, take you off your current trajectory and what you have planned for life, and it all comes crashing down. I know I got sidetracked. Like I said, I have a million thoughts in my head right now, but I'm going back to it. Was the night my daughter died, after we left the hospital and we had to take her off life support. My friends and I, my coworkers, they were family they're still family. Any of them ever need help, you just come to me. I'm like that with anybody. Just come to me. I'll help you out best way I can. I may not be monetarily, but I'm smart enough to think of some things, and maybe we can figure it out. So that's open to anybody. But God, this is so hard to talk about because I go over it in my head over and over again every day, and putting it into words is always much more difficult. Sorry, I like to try to use laughter as a device to push forward. So, but after that, first thought of suicide came in my head right there when we went to a river, I believe. We had fireworks. We didn't get to spend the 4th of July because we were in the hospital with our daughter. And my friends wanted, they're all empathetic. They felt bad for me and my ex. But I thought about killing myself that night at the river. We were popping fireworks, and I would just be thinking, what would happen if I took all these fireworks and found some way to, kill myself? Might as well just say it how it is. That's what this whole thing is about, and that's what I'm trying to prevent from other people. I know kind of how this video may sound, but I assure you, currently, I am not trying to kill myself. Now, granted, depression's a bitch, and it comes and goes. It comes and goes. Sometimes you may be just that one more bad event from pushing you over the edge. You never know. But, that was the first thought I ever thought about, first time I ever thought about legitimately wanting to end my life. And, you know, I don't want to go to a therapist. I don't want to go to a psychiatrist. I don't want to be put on thousands of medications. I'm not that type of person. You know, Fortunately, I've been able to stay away from drugs. Now, those who know me know I smoke weed, okay? And I'm sorry, weed's not a drug. To me, that's not up for discussion. It's a plant, okay? But besides that, if it wasn't for that, I'd been gone a long time ago, okay? I will swear by my life that that is one thing that will help. What won't help is getting on other drugs, though. I can't say from experience because I've never done it. But I've seen other people and I've seen how it affects them, and it just makes it worse for them. So I urge you not to take that route. Alcohol, also not the best route, but that's more legal and you're not going to go to prison. So to each their own. I can't stop you, but, you know, nor do, I just, man, and then ever since then, when my daughter died, we lost our apartment. I had my job if I ever wanted to go back, but honestly, I did not feel like working. As I said, I wanted to crawl in a hole and die. And we stayed with a good friend of mine for a little bit, and she helped us through a lot. That's something I don't think I'll ever be able to repay. I would have to say that was probably the worst of it. Then we moved. And we ended up getting a house. My wife, we found out she was pregnant with our son. A year and a week later, actually, to the day of my daughter's birth, my son was born. So, I had that to thank for it. But I was a miserable son of a bitch for the first 5 years, easily. It cost me my second marriage. And I'm not going to go into it more than that out of respect for my second wife. We know what happened. But it made me very angry. We were both at fault. There's two sides to every story and it takes two to tango, right? Those cliches, they're true. It does take two to tango. I was always away from the house. Always. Seeing my wife and seeing my son just reminded me of my daughter so much that I would go and escape and hang out with my friends, because at least I got a little bit of peace at that time when I was hanging out with them. I may not have been the best friend I could have been to any of them. I could have been better. But I wasn't, I'm still on great terms with all those guys, but it's not like I'm going over and hanging out with them every night, or doing what we used to do. Granted, I live 300 miles away now from all of them, but I don't know. It's just this stuff makes you do things that you wouldn't normally do. And I want you to know, to anybody out there suffering through this, you're not alone. In my life, I have attempted suicide twice. Three, technically, just one's more long term, but I'll get into that. Um, uh, but this is what I'm getting into. This is the stuff that people with depression don't want to talk about. They don't want to talk about their thoughts, and I don't want to go too in depth into it because I think about dying every 10 minutes, at least. It's a constant thought on my head, especially this time of year. In just a few days, my daughter would have been 15 years old. Wow. And she'd almost be out of fucking high school right now. God, imagine what your life would have been, right? Again, getting sidetracked because I don't want to talk about this. I'm scared to talk about this because I tried to put up these barriers in my own mind so I don't come back to these thoughts. But it's desperate. There's people out there that are desperate. They don't know what to do. They don't know where to turn. They don't know what's going on. A lot of people, they're suffering, depression for the first time because of all this stuff going on. Young, old, this doesn't discriminate. And the first time I tried to commit suicide was right right at the end of my second marriage. Me and my wife, we were going through some tough stuff. I was turned into a person I never wanted to be. Fought my entire life to never be like that for, reasons. I'm not going to go into my childhood here. Um, that's way too long of a video for that one. um, so when me and my ex, we got into a fight, I had my rights taken away to my son. Now, part of that was on me, yes. And that's all I'm going to say is my side. I'm not going to say anything about what happened on her end because honestly, I don't know. So, but me and her got into a fight and we were arguing back and forth, and my son was a year and a half at this time. And he was hitting me on the head. I was holding him. He wasn't liking me and mom fighting. He was crying. He wanted to get down and play, but we were at a laundromat, and he's a year and a half. I didn't want him running all over the place, so I was holding him. And then me and her were fighting, and then he was hitting me in the head, and I just popped him once on the head. She instantly, my wife instantly just like took my son and left. I felt horrible about it. And not once more after that did I ever lay a finger on my son. I'm not like that. But I did do that. That's what depression does. I was very angry at the world. I was angry with myself. I was angry with her for many reasons. Some of it was not even in her control. Some of it was. But she was also feeling as bad as I was. She was going through depression as well. And that's why most marriages probably don't work after they lose a child, is because both parties are going through something, and neither one of them want to open up to the other. I don't want to make her feel any worse, and she probably didn't want to make me feel any worse than we were already feeling. Which is kind of funny, because if anybody knows what we were going through, it would have been each other. In hindsight, it's 2020, right? But later that night, it led to a big fight between me and her. And it did get physical, and I regret every second of it. And not once since then have I ever gotten into a real physical fight with any of my significant others afterwards. I don't hit women. I strongly believe you shouldn't hit a woman. So that's just how I was raised. But I was hurting. She was hurting. And our son was right there watching the whole thing. And, just the fact that we exposed him to that is even more heartbreaking. But I wasn't expecting this video to take this long, but this has been a lot harder to talk about than I thought it was going to be, because I've been dealing with it for so long. I thought, yeah, I got this. I'm doing my best. Sorry. I will try to make it a little quicker so I'm not taking up everyone's time. I could edit this, but I'd rather it not be edited. I'd rather this just be raw emotion coming out. But after it got physical between me and my wife, and everything that transpired between us, later that night, I left the house. She'd already left. She went to her mom. She took my son. My marriage was over. That was a straw that broke the back, so to speak. So I go to an overpass, and I climb over the ledge, and I'm waiting for a semi to come by because I want it to be quick. I don't want to suffer. And honestly, at that point, I don't know what made me, not jump off the ledge. I don't. I wasn't in my right mindset. I was not me. I was something completely different. And that scared me. It scared me a lot. But, I never told anybody that, because nothing came of it. And I thought, I'm going to be strong enough and I'm going to fight this. Surprisingly, I did. I won that battle. The war was far from over. then after losing custody of my son, being able to get to see him at CPS, up until the day my divorce was finalized, which was done in a very, very uncool way. And that still hurts to this day. Because I didn't even know what was going on. Because I was prideful. I thought I knew what was going on. I was ready to divorce my second wife. So I signed a paper that prevented a constable from letting me know when my divorce date was, what day we go to court. Now, she swears up and down that it just fell on this day, at this time. And now, it was at a time I absolutely couldn't be there. I was visiting my son at CPS. I had an hour visit with him. Then when she came to pick him up, we waited outside. My mom and sister were there with me. And pretty much got told I have no rights to my son anymore. That, especially after so close to losing your daughter, your first kid, I got played like that. And I still hold a grudge to that. That's never going to change. I'm sorry to the person in question who knows who you... Imagine if she's watching this, she knows who she is. If you want to make yourself known, do so in the comments, because I'm going to post this on Facebook. And I'm probably going to post this on YouTube. And I'm probably going to post a link on Twitter. Those are my 3 things. Because I want people to see this. I want people that suffer from depression to see this. To see that, yeah, it's hard to talk about. It really is. But the only thing I've ever found that really helped, truly helped, was talking about it. But I'm stubborn. Anybody knows me, I'm stubborn. I've always got to have my way. That's not even caused by the depression. That's just ingrained in me through life. So, very stubborn. Probably get that from my dad, honestly. But again, getting sidetracked. But that night, my mom and sister were there. They helped me through the first part of it, And I had already had another girlfriend, and we were seeing each other. And, that also helped comfort the blow a little bit, But at first, when I got that, first couple days, I did a lot of contemplating, and I thought back to that night on the bridge. And I thought, I don't really want to do this no more. I'm tired of living. I'm tired of keep fighting. And nothing ever comes from it. And that's when I attempted my life. That's when I attempted to take my life a second time. This one, I was trying to do it, something I couldn't back out of. Because I didn't want to back out of it. I was done. My kid had been taken away. Both my kids had been taken away. I didn't know if I was ever going to get to see my son again. Although I will say, on a future note, we're on good terms now. We talk on the phone, every few months. I get to talk to my son almost every day. I love talking to him. you know. I still get that joy because I was unsuccessful in that attempt. And what it was is I took a I took a fuckload of painkillers and I took a lot of alcohol. The cliche rock way to go, right? That was what I was thinking in my head. I want to go out like some of my favorite musicians. I mean, it was good enough for them. Why not me? Maybe if, I can't back out of it. Those are thoughts running through my head at this time. But I apparently, thankfully, it didn't take. I woke up, vomit all over the floor. I was living in my car at this time too. God, yeah. I'd lost my house even. And later on, I got to stay with my aunt and uncle for a little bit, which that did help. I don't know why I didn't die that day. Thought thankfully I didn't. I'm not a religious person, so I believe in science. I was raised to believe in God my whole life, but after losing my daughter, I can't believe in something that would take my daughter away. It just, I could only hope that in the afterlife, it's just black. That's it. You're gone. Because I don't want to keep carrying this in the afterlife, if there is one. No one knows. No one knows. I'm sorry if any of my religious friends, family members, or anybody religious is watching this. This is how I feel. I don't want to hate on you for believing in God or anything like that. It's just how I feel. That's me. Okay. I don't hold anything against anybody for believing in any kind of religion. I don't hold anything against anybody, really. Because honestly, I don't care enough, it feels like. Because I feel like I'm... Wow. Yeah. But I feel like I'm dead inside. And that hasn't stopped. 15 years, I still feel dead inside. I find it hard to love. But for some reason, I care about people. I may not show it sometimes because I'm a cynic, but I care about everybody. I really do. I get that from my mom. She has a huge heart. But, which I guess is why I'm doing this video to even begin with, is because I don't want to see anybody kill themselves over this. It's not worth it. I've had so much stuff happen to me over these last 15 years. Even though I'm incredibly sad, I'm very happy with where I'm at right now. And that makes it easy to deal with. But I still live with it every day. I still think, ways to kill myself. And I'm not going to go into any of that because I don't want to give any of y'all any more ideas. So, and then, fast forward, third wife. Didn't work out. We were both not right for each other. And Honestly, I don't know if this attempt here was as serious as the other two. But oh wait, hold on. I'm sorry. I'm getting way ahead of myself. I need to tell you about the one that, the long term. So, after after everything with my second wife and waking up and vomit all over me, headache, I felt like I was dead. I already, like, every bone in my body ached. I did not want to get up. I had a migraine. I don't know, like maybe I did screw something up that day when I did that. I don't know, because that leads me to this third attempt. Is I just stopped caring. I let my body go down. I stopped going to the doctor. Stopped doing everything in general. I was just not. I I didn't feel like I should take the easy way out anymore like that, because apparently it's not. That's not going to happen. And so then I made the decision that night that I was just not going to do anything. I didn't go to the doctor for what I assumed was probably an OD. I don't know. I didn't go to a doctor. I felt like shit for 3 days. No one saw me. I made sure that I lived in my car. I could just go to my car and park anywhere. That was it. Um, and I just did that for 3 days. Just sat at a park, just staring, contemplating. And I decided just not do anything else to make myself better. And so my teeth got bad. I know when, your teeth get so bad, infected, and decayed that you could potentially die from it. That's kind of what I was going for. And I have these moments where I snap out of my depression, if only for brief moments of time, where I feel all right. I have no idea who I am anymore. I mean, other than my old friends in another city far, far away, I don't have any other friends. Honestly, I don't know if I want any friends because, as I said, I'm miserable. I don't want to bring that misery to others. I don't want to do that. It's bad enough I have to deal with it. But I'd like to think I would like to hope and think I may be stronger than most in this. But I just don't know. Everyone's different. But, I have a bad ankle. I have a bad knee. I got something on internally. I don't know what it is. It's just progressively getting worse. I mean, I'm trying. I've been starting. My current spouse, she's amazing. she's trying to help me through all this despite, my best efforts to sabotage some things. Because I don't want to drag her down with my negativity. She has her own problems and she deals with her own things, and I try not to bring that on to her, so I don't talk to her a lot about this. But I want to put this out there so I never have to really... It's out there. Friends, family, anybody who ever cared for me, I'm sorry if this hurts to hear. I really am. But if we can save a life or two, or many, hopefully many, but if we could just save one life, it'd be worth it. I know this hurts to hear, people, but trust me, it doesn't hurt anybody more than me. So I imagine when I post this, I'm probably going to get some phone calls. If I don't answer, don't take it personally. I always do better at messaging. I hate talking on the phone. I just do. I have trouble hearing, and I can read better than I can hear. Let's put it like that. I'm wearing glasses, so my hearing's probably not that great. But and I'm starting to do things. I just had my appendix taken out. If I wouldn't have, I would have died. That's progress. 15 years ago, no, not 15 years ago, that would be like 13 years ago. When I told myself that that's what I'm going to do. That's how I'm going to end it. I did not want to live past 40. Some days I still don't want to live past 40. Even though I'm very happy with the person I'm with right now. And I'm very happy with where my life's at. I've got, I ended up having another daughter over these last 15 years. And I love her more than anything. And just like it, relationships rarely end good. Now, with my daughter, I actually had my rights for her. But because of my depression and how sad I was, and the fact that I didn't even have a house at the time when me and her split, well, I was kind of living in a sober living house because that's the only thing I could afford in that city. But, I should have fought harder for my daughter, but I didn't have the money. I didn't have the means. And when my son got taken away from me, I did try to ask for help, and no one was able to help me. I got a little bit of help here or there, but I needed a lawyer. If I could get a lawyer, I can get partial rights to my son back. I know I could. I've never been to jail. I've never had anything on my record. I get all my any speeding ticket I may get, which is few and far between, I get them dropped. Those aren't even on my record for the most part. I don't have a record. I don't have anger problems. If anything, I'm more sad than anything now. The anger part of my depression is long gone. I've come to terms and accept that this is what I live with now. This is who I am. And if you're still watching this, kudos to you. Thank you. I know this is really long. Wow. I'm sorry, I got a lot on my mind. I don't know what I was thinking. This was going to be like a 10-minute conversation. Yeah, 10 minutes. Wow. Apparently, I'm not as smart as I think I am sometimes. So, there's that. Um, see, trying to use laughter is, you know, but and I didn't really fight back as hard for my daughter when I was able to have the means to do so. I still couldn't have afforded a lawyer, but I mean, I had a paper stating I have standard visitation, which anybody who has children and separated, you know what standard visitation is. Every other weekend on Thursdays as well. Um, but I didn't really pursue it because it's not on her. It's not on me. We both, yeah. But either way, I didn't fight as hard as I should have because I could have provided the life for my child as my ex could have. She my daughter is doing great. She's doing great. My ex is raising her amazingly. She's bright, full of life. We're at a point now where I'm starting to get, I get to see her. I can just make an appointment, go see her, with her. Appointment's a wrong word. That's not what I meant. It's not an appointment. But I set time off aside. I guess it is an appointment. It's not the terminology I wanted to use. Um but we're I have no ill will towards her. First year of our relationship is like all other relationships, back and forth. I hate you, you hate me. We hate each other, type stuff. It's nothing on her. She did what she thought was best for Luna at the time, and as did I. Being with me probably wouldn't have been the best choice for her at that moment in time. And it's just been years now. And, we're on good terms. I'm able to go see my daughter. You know, she lights up every time I see her. It's one of the few honest joys that I have in my life. You know, I look forward to that every time I get to go see her. And, I'm thankful that my ex decided to, want some help from me. And, I'm actually going to get to have my daughter coming up real soon for a few days. That's going to be awesome. I'm going to love that. But I'm also scared because I'm like, man, I've had her overnight a couple times, but a few days in a row, I'm excited. I am excited. I'm only a little scared because I haven't really had her for that long amount of time without my ex present. And I don't want to screw anything up because I want more opportunities like this. My daughter hasn't really got to meet a lot of her family yet, and I hope maybe I can maybe introduce her to some of them coming up on this visit that I get with her. You know, one day I hope my son and my daughter will meet. They still haven't met. They know each other. Well, my son knows my daughter. I don't know if my daughter so much is old enough to comprehend that she has a brother as well. She has a sister she lives with, and they're adorable. But she has a brother too, and I hope at some point soon I can introduce them. But you know, that's kind of what keeps me going now. Is maybe one day, I can't wait for that meeting. But you know, and it's just, I don't know. I I feel like I'm starting to get over the hill on this. Like maybe the worst of it's finally starting to be over. I mean, there's still not a second that goes by that I don't think about my first daughter being in the hospital every day. You know, we only had her for a month. She was in the hospital for 2 weeks. We didn't get to have her for a very long time. And I don't think I really ever thanked the people that were there for me during that time enough. And I would love to give you all credit, but, you know, it's that's your personal lives. If you know who you are, and people that were there for me, I was lucky. I was really lucky. Timing is a big thing about me, I guess. Is everything's all about timing. With with perfect timing, you could probably change the world. Um, but I in my head, I still feel like I want to die before 40. I've got two beautiful children, and I've got a great girl who surprisingly cares about me as much as she does, and I love her for that. She is honestly, if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't have made it to 40. I'm 37 now. I got 3 more years to go before I hit that 40 mark. You know, but every day is a struggle. Every day is a challenge. I have good things that happen to me, and it makes it makes the bad stuff hurt less, but it doesn't ever fully go away. And, you know, more recently, I've started turning to drinking to help ease my sorrows. Because honestly, with all this pandemic stuff, it's been honestly hard to get some stuff to smoke to make me feel better. And that's fine. There is alcohol. I don't like fucking. I'm not a big drinker. Anybody who knows about my childhood knows why I don't want to become an alcoholic. I've seen what that does firsthand to people, you know, and that's just something I'm fighting through. That's a current thing I'm fighting through. But honestly, if you're still watching this and you see something relatable that may make you change your mind, or if you know somebody who's depressed, show them this. Maybe it can do something. Maybe nothing will come of this video at all. I don't know. But I feel like I have to try. Because, I mean, with the more recent suicide, well, I guess not recent anymore, but, Chester Bennington, Chris Cornell, you know, even to more current, um, more current suicides, like, Hana Kimura. The people bullying her on the internet, you know, y'all are y'all. I don't want to speak bad of people. I don't. But to those who made her do that, screw you. That's all I'm gonna say. Screw you. Internet bullying, with you know, internet being as big as it is now, cyberbullying, whatever the term is for it, that you guys gotta. Why do you guys do that? Why? What good does it serve you to have someone else be cause so much depression and make them take their life? It is a fight every day to do that. And I didn't know the wrestler that took her life, Hana Kimura. I didn't know of her wrestling. I didn't know anything about her, but her story about the cyberbullying and, it just, yeah. And even this year, high school friend of mine, he lost his battle with depression, and we really wish I could have been there more for him. You know, we lost touch years ago, really. But, I'm always there for anybody that, is contemplating suicide, or if you're just going through a really bad time, I want to be there. I have tons of friends who deal with depression, I have family members, I've had family directly affected by suicide, I'm saying a lot because I know it's not proper grammar, etiquette. I'm horrible in English, okay? Not my best subject in school. Okay? But, I've had family where they've had family members commit suicide. And I've seen what it does to them. Suicide isn't for. I know suicide is a coward's way out because you're not the one who gets affected by it. Everyone else who has to survive you is the one who's really gets affected by it. I know that. And honestly, I think that's probably the single thought that keeps me somewhat sane, so to speak. Because I love my family. All my family. Even if I ain't seen you in 20 years, still love you. You're my family. Same with my friends. I ain't seen you since junior high, elementary school. I remember all of you. I've got a great memory. I remember everybody I usually meet. If I may not remember the name, I remember the face. And I enjoy meeting everybody I've ever met, even though I may not have been the best social person at the time. And even some friends I've had, we've gone our separate ways because drama. What I try to take out of my life because by not having friends, because I'm tired of drama. But, I'm hoping that I'm on the other side of this. I don't know for sure. And I stay silent about it. Who knows what might happen? But by saying something about it and making people aware about it, maybe that's something more. Maybe that's I've tried everything I can think of to get over depression minus, I even took meds one time and it made me very violent and angry. Stopped taking them right then and there. And told myself never again. I know different medications cause different reactions. Everyone's different. Blah, blah, blah. I understand that. But that's not a solution for me. I don't want to stop other people from seeking professional help if they so desire that route. It's just not for me. If you're feeling depressed, I recommend take the professional route. Take the medication they give you. I know the first one they'll even tell you this is the first one, we got to try different ones and find which one fits for you. That would probably be the easiest way to take care of it. If you're doing it like I do and just deal with it every day, you're probably never going to get over it. Now, granted, by taking medication, if you stop the medication, it's probably going to come right back. So, it's a Band-Aid. I want to find a more permanent fix. Maybe talking about it is that permanent fix. Silent, stop the silence. That's it. Just talk to people. You want to talk in the comments below, on this video. I'll get a notification for each one. I'll do my best to respond to everyone I can. Or anybody else who shares this, likes it, whatever, help me talk to some of these people that decide they want to open up and talk about their problems. Because that's what this whole thing is about, is they just need help. I need help. I've been afraid to admit that for a very long time. It was only just in the last couple of years that I finally realized that I do need help. I just didn't want to do anything about it. Well, I'm trying now. And, and to the cyberbullies, anybody posting in the comments below, if someone's picking on you or cyberbullying or whatever because, they think what made you depressed is not a reason to be depressed or whatever, then most part just ignore them. They're probably hurting just as bad as you are, and they're probably going through depression too. They just don't know how to handle it. But if there's any, people who want to cyberbully anybody, cyberbully me. I don't care. You want to talk crap to people, I invite you to just come talk crap to me. You want, I'll argue back. I don't care. Just stop attacking other people. Please. If you're any kind of if you're any kind of human being with a soul, just stop in general. But if you feel the need to, direct it towards me. I'm okay with that. I'll take it. Okay? Look, I'll even start. Ooh, I'm going bald. I'll make fun of myself probably more than anybody else could ever make fun of me. And that's just because I don't feel good about myself, and making fun of myself is how I cope with it. So, you want to make fun of me? Go for it. It's probably nothing I haven't thought to myself about a million times. I mean, you see this? You see this right there? It never freaking goes away. I don't know what it is. I've tried popping it. Just, it's there. You know? But stop picking on people online. Just come at me. I'll give you an outlet. I'll make a YouTube channel and you can just come bully me on it. You know? That's fine. I'll make some random video that's mundane and probably not interesting, you know, and you guys can just come bully me over there. Just leave everyone else alone, please. Everyone's going through a tough time right now. Everyone. Doesn't matter where you're at, what side of any political divide, any race, everyone. You know, I don't want to see any more people die. Imagine the potential that you have to do something. And just think before you do it, what you can accomplish in this world. I know at that time when you're going through that, that's not even in the ballpark of thoughts going through your head. And I know it's harder to do than that. It really is. You know, music, huge outlet for me. Huge outlet for me. You know, a couple YouTubers I watch have been talking a lot about this, and you know, that's another reason why I wanted to do this. You know, I see all this ugliness in the world, but then I also see, you know, some goodness in there too. You know, there's people out there who care. There are. And all you got to do is open up to them, people. Just, I know it's hard, I know it's scary, and I know that's the least thing you want to do. But you just got to take that step. I'm still curious about how this video is going to go, and if anybody's even going to sit through an hour and 13 minutes of listening to my horrible voice, talking to you guys, hoping to try to stop people from killing themselves. That's bottom line. That's what I want. I want to try to stop people from killing themselves. Too many people have lost their lives. People I've known, people I've cared about, that have just taken their lives, and I've seen the family after the fact, you know, for some of them. And I can only imagine how it is for the others that I know of. And then, you know, I think to myself on that, like, if I did that now, I would be doing the same thing to my family. But you don't understand the pain. You don't. Unless you're going through it, you don't understand the kind of pain it is. I can take any amount of physical pain you throw at me. Like it's nothing. It's the stuff deep down that eats at your soul. Tears you out little by little. Painful to even get out of bed every day. You know. I mean, I guess that's pretty much all I want to say now. I mean, this is already an hour long. Thank you for anybody still watching this, and anybody who wants to share it, and anybody who wants to help try to save a life. I'm not sure if this is the best way to go about it. But, you know, maybe it is. Maybe it's not. You never know unless you try, right? All right. Well, thank you for your time. I greatly appreciate it because I really don't like taking up people's time. But I'm taking this one time to be selfish to try to do something. And thank you. And see, it was hard enough to make this video. Now it's going to be even harder to probably try to upload it because I'm going to sit there with the upload button on Facebook for a while probably before I finally upload this. So, yeah. But thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And everybody who's ever helped me in my life through anything, thank you. Thank you.